Right, so I want to have a word with all you naughty, naughty terrorists out there. You know, the octogenarians and the retired doctors and all that sort of thing, who've been committing acts of terrorism, holding up signs saying that you oppose genocide. Now, this is about politeness and respect, which, as you'll be aware, are core British values. Have we got a flag I can briefly floss with? No, we haven't. Okay, just imagine I'm waving a flag or something. We'll AI one in later. So listen, we've got to show some respect. Yes, because there's been an act of terrorism on British soil. Now, I haven't waited for an inquiry to find out whether it's officially terrorism or what exactly was going on, but we've jumped to a very fast conclusion to condemn it quickly, even though it took 2 years for the United Nations to decide that what was going on in Gaza was a genocide, and we still won't admit it. The point is, we've decided it's an act of terrorism. It could potentially be dangerous driving followed by some panicky bungling by the police, but the point is, we've decided it's terrorism, and we imagine that the terrorist has been motivated by anti-Semitism because they've assumed that the British Jewish community is the same as the Israeli occupation force. And that's anti-Semitic, and it's not acceptable. And in order to respond to that, what we need people to do is to respect the grieving of the British Jewish community by not complaining about the Israeli occupation force. Because they're different things, but also, are they? But don't say they are, because it's anti-Semitism, okay? So we're going to have a week with none of this protesting, right? Nobody hold up a sign, because the police will be overwhelmed. And you don't want the public terrified by elderly ladies holding up signs saying that they support human rights and they don't want a genocide. We're going to carry on with the genocide, of course, but we'll have a whole week where we grieve for the 2 people who lost their lives in the Manchester situation, and then, obviously, there are 600,000 people who've lost their lives in Gaza due to the actions of the Israeli occupation force. So if we do the same amount of grieving for them, we'll need 5,500 years. But we'll cut it down a bit. We'll cut it down a bit because they're foreign or brown or something. It might be that some of the people in Manchester are brown. I haven't checked. The point is, we're grieving, and so no protesting while we're grieving. We'll just don't protest, and instead we'll carry on with the genocide that we're actively participating in, funding, supporting, diplomatically supporting, and denying as well. Sorry, forgot that. Denying, not a genocide. Another thing that isn't a genocide, because although the United Nations and all the humanitarian organisations and all the genocide scholars say that it is, we're not sure about that. But that thing in Manchester was definitely terrorism for sure. So stop holding up signs, show some respect for the genocide and the people who've been held hostage I'm not entirely sure what my point is, but anyway, stop protesting, let us just get on with it, because that's the respectful thing to do for the Jewish community who've got nothing whatsoever to do with Israel. Is that what? I think that's what I was elected to the government. That's what the trade unions who supported me on my journey to Westminster wanted me to say. They were right behind me. I remember when we were campaigning on the streets and I was saying, I'm going to carry on the good work that Jeremy Corbyn started. Well, what they actually wanted me to do was to tell you all not to protest genocide in case it upsets people who might have been a victim. The point is, if you've lost someone, imagine if you've lost someone. Some of you have lost someone. I'm sorry about that, especially if it was with a fighter jet that we paid for. But the point is, do what we say. Don't try to understand the logic of it. Thanks for voting for us. It's all fine, but it's not fine. Does my hair look weird? Increasingly, the mainstream media is terrible at informing the public of what is really going on. I'm only able to make these videos because people are generous enough to sponsor me making them, and if you're able to be a part of that, I would hugely appreciate it. It can cost as little as $1 a month and you'll get loads of fun bonus content and lots of extras from me and my undying gratitude. I also massively appreciate it if you're able to like, share these videos and let people out there know what's going on.